I just got back from getting my nails done, and let me tell you about this ridiculousness. Okay, it's been a long time since I've gotten my nails done. I needed this, but it just didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. This is what I asked for. This beautiful, immaculate. We're looking at something really great here. This is what I asked for. Guys, this. I want you to pay close attention because you're about to see these. You're about to see these. I want to cry. Like, huh? You're going to make me pay for that? The girl looked happy when she was finished this. Happy, proud. I mean, they speak for themselves, you know? Like...
Story time from something that happened to me when I was a beginner. I post on my story that I'm completely booked for the rest of the month. Heard replying to the story, hey, I want to do this on the 13th at 2 p.m. Me, I'm sorry, but like I said, I'm completely booked. Her, but I want my nails done. Can you cancel the person for that day? Me, I can't. She made the appointment first and sent the deposit. Her, okay, I'll just go to someone else. Me, no problem. Have a good day. Her, so you really can't take me that week. Another beginner story time. Sends me a picture of a medium set with blue marble on all nails. That'll be $35. And I do require a $5 deposit. Finishes doing her nails day of the appointment. Sends me $35 through Cash App. My mom wants to talk to you. Why did you charge her so expensive? You said $30. She already gave the $5. No, ma'am, I'm so sorry for the misunderstanding, but the $5 was only the deposit. Salons don't do this. They charge way cheaper and they do better. We're never going back there again.
Part 2 Bath and Body Works story time. This woman is sitting at the cash wrap telling me to go get my manager. And I'm slowly freaking out like, fuck, this lady just told me not to ask her nothing. Like, what am I supposed to do? I look at the girl next to me who I guess was supposed to be training me or whatever. And she's like, oh yeah, I don't know what to do. You're probably gonna have to get the manager. Of course, the only manager in the fucking store that day was the one that told me not to ask her nothing. I go back into the back and I'm like, we should call her something. Let's call her Orange. I'm like, Orange, there's somebody at the register who's asking for you. And she looks at me, she goes, oh. And I looked her dead in her face and said, if I didn't need you, I wouldn't ask for you. She's like, okay, I guess. She gets there, and of course, it was a system override that was needed with her code and her password. So the lady is still sitting there with an attitude. So the manager fixes it. So Mama's kindly gets her stuff and gets the hell out the store. My thing is, working in customer service, why did you feel the need to be an asshole? Over a $3 coupon, babe. Not to mention everything she bought went on sale for $2 the next fucking day. Be nice to people.
If anyone's wanting to know how to get revenge on someone who spread rumors about you, listen to this story and it may come in handy. So I had a friend that we can call Miranda who was obsessed with me. I was genuinely friends with her, but she would never give me a break. I could not get a breather from her at any point in time. Everywhere I went, she went. And this girl would actually get so upset with me anytime I would go over to another friend's house. I knew she was really insecure and just trying to get attention, so I tried to be patient with her. However, one day I just could not take it anymore. I got into a massive fight with her over how overprotective she is. I literally said, you are a stage 5 clinger. And in response, this girl ended up joining my basketball and softball team, which I've been on for forever. She told her mom that I was bullying her, which was a complete lie, but then her mom went to the coaches. She got me kicked off the team and they continued to spread rumors about me. I ended up losing my best friends and even my boyfriend over the rumors that she spread about me. So that's when I decided to get revenge. So I decided that I was going to send her over an apology gift with makeup in it, which was a mix of drugstore items and poison.
Story time about how I ended up with 2 sugar daddies that I met at the strip club. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It's sent to me on Instagram. I have been a tripper for 2 years. And yes, I will be referring to myself as a tripper. A few months ago, I started looking for new ways to earn money because I don't want to be a tripper for the rest of my life. Well, around that time, a group of guys came into the club. One of them was super nice and he kept tipping me all night. He literally just talked to me the whole night. He didn't even get dances from other girls and didn't ask me to do anything else other than just talk. I basically made my entire rent just from all the tips he gave me. By the end of the night, he had asked me for my number and I gave it to him, which is super uncommon. I never give out my number, but this guy was really nice. A few days later, we went out to dinner and he asked me if I wanted to be his sugar baby. I said yes immediately. Ever since then, we hang out once a week, and he pays me on average $4,000 a month. A few months into our arrangement, he asked me if I wanted to quit the strip club. I said probably not, but he told me that eventually he wanted me to. A few weeks ago, this new guy comes into the club, and he also asked me to be his sugar baby, so I said yes. This is where things get scary. Part 2 is up. 2 of how I ended up with 2 sugar daddies I met at the trip club. Now I basically have to choose between one of them. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It was sent to me on Instagram. So this other guy comes into the club and asked me if I want to be a sugar baby. I immediately said yes. This man owned several businesses and everyone knew him around town. A week into our arrangement, he started becoming really jealous. He was constantly asking me if I had a boyfriend or if I had other sugar daddies. Of course I said no. That's when I realized I had to hide everything from both of these guys. Luckily, the second sugar daddy traveled a lot. He would FaceTime me all the time and even asked me to turn on my location. The only reason I put up with it was because he was giving me $7,000 a month. That's when sugar daddy number 1 asked me to quit the club again. And I basically said yes because I was getting enough money. I didn't realize it then, but he basically took that as me saying that I wanted to be in a relationship with him. That's when he started wanting to come over to my place all the time and basically spend every single day with me. So I would tell him I was going to the gym, but really I was going to go see my other sugar daddy. Then sugar daddy number 2 asked me if I wanted to move into a better apartment, and he became my co-signer. Part 3 is up.
Story time! So my boyfriend would cheat on me with my best friends. Yes, I said friends. He literally cheated on me with every single one of my friends. So this is where my best friend comes into the picture. So me and my best friend have known each other forever. And our boyfriends were actually also best friends. Because of that, we would go on a lot of double dates. But whenever we were on these double dates, I noticed that my best friend and my boyfriend would be very flirty towards each other. Because of that, me and my best friend's boyfriend ended up getting suspicious. We'll call my best friend's boyfriend Chase. So, because we were suspicious, Chase and I both agreed to hang out so we could talk about things. It was the next day and me and Chase are hanging out, and while we were talking, Chase gets a call. It was his friend and he was saying that his girlfriend, my best friend, was with another man. We'll call my best friend Kayla. After that, he described the man and it ended up matching my boyfriend perfectly. We'll call my boyfriend Jake. After that, he ended up sending a picture of them and he sent it to us. That's when it was confirmed that it was both Jake and Kayla. So I ended up messaging Jake and I asked him where he was at and what he was doing. He said, I'm about to go take a shower and go hang out with Chase. So I said, okay, have a nice day. Later that day, I get home and I get a text message from a random number. It was
So I'm going to be doing a story time on my first fight. So I'm going to call her R. So she was talking. Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all, start from bottom. Okay, so her friend was trying to jump my brother. So I put a hole in it so that I can use it. Okay, so I was not going for that because sister, why would you a group of girls jump your brother? So his friends was gonna help, obviously, of course. So how I found, yeah, so I put my stuff down and I was like, and I started walking over there and one of the girls started looking at me. So I guess when the girls started walking towards me, ready to fight, and then the principal officer, so we had to all go inside. And tell me why, she was on live talking about me. And I was like, why was she on live talking about me?
I work as an assistant for a really big fashion company. I had a defective wedding dress and my boss asked if I knew anyone we could give it to. My best friend recently got engaged, so it was perfect. When she posted on Instagram to thank me and my boss, my family caught wind of it, and that's when the influx of calls came. I do not have a good relationship with my family. My parents kicked me out when I was 16 after I came out to them, and my sister wasn't much better. They demanded to know why I gave the dress to my friend and not to my sister. I didn't even know she was engaged. They suggested I try to take it back from my friend as family should always come first. My sister even tried to call my boss to complain. I just got off the phone with my mom and this is how the conversation went. She says my sister is very upset about the dress and I told her she needs to get over it. My mom says I can make it up to them by giving her another dress. I posted one last night on my Instagram. It's a $12,000 dress and that's the one my sister wants. And I told her, you expect me to give you a $12,000 dress when you kicked me out when I was 16? My mom says, that was a long time ago and we're talking about your sister, not me. When I refused to give the dress, my mom says the least I can do is help her buy one. At this point I hang up and I've been avoiding them since then.
story time. I babysat a lot of kids in my neighborhood, and there was this one night that I was babysitting a 2-year-old. It was around 10 o'clock at night, so the kid was sleeping, and I was just sitting in the living room. In the living room, there was a big TV, a couch, and then behind me, it was a wall with a giant window. So it was really late at night, I had nothing to do, so I was Snapchatting my friends. If you Snapchat anybody, I'm sure you know that sometimes you Snapchat really fast. You don't even know or look at what you're sending. I was mass snapping all my friends, and then one of them replied 10 minutes later. And he said, "Who's that guy behind you?" And I turned around and no one was there, so I'm like, he's playing a joke on me. But then I get another Snapchat from this friend I had, and she lives all the way across the country. They don't know each other. And she said, "I think there's someone outside." So I was really freaked out because I was alone. There was a giant window behind me. Apparently there was someone outside. I wasn't gonna call the child's parents because I didn't want to freak them out, but I was scared. So then I went around the house, locked all of the doors. Sorry, it's a really long story, like for part 2.
3 of how I ended up with 2 sugar daddies and I had to choose between one of them. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It was sent to me on Instagram. So sugar daddy number 2 offers me an apartment and wants to be my co-signer. And the apartment was so beautiful. It was 2 bedrooms, had a washer dryer inside the unit. It even had a doorman and a pool and everything. It was a huge step up from the place I had. This is when sugar daddy number 1 started getting really suspicious. He asked me how I could afford it. Then I broke the news to him that I had a second sugar daddy. He freaked out and told me I needed to choose between him or the other guy. I can't tell sugar daddy number 2 because he's super jealous, but my gut tells me to go with sugar daddy number 2. He pays me more money and gave me the apartment, but number 1 is super nice. But number 2 travels all the time, so I don't have to see him all the time. I don't know. What do you guys think I should do? I love my new apartment though. What do I do? Story time about how I set up my boyfriend to cheat on me so that I could break up with him. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It was sent to me on Instagram. I'm at the airport, so I'm sorry if it's noisy. My boyfriend and I have been together for way too long. When our relationship first started, I was constantly chasing him. He never wanted a relationship and basically didn't want to come.
Here are the motherfucking new nails.
I'm 17 and my sister's 34. She called me saying that her work had an emergency and she needs to get there ASAP and needed me to watch her kids because no one else can. I rushed over there just to find her husband locked in his game room playing video games. I asked her why she called me over if he was home, and she said that he didn't want to babysit because it was his only day off. She left and I started hanging out with the kids. I was changing the baby's diaper and the other kids wanted a snack. I told them to go ask their dad to make them a snack since the baby had a blowout and it was going to take me a while to clean him up. While their dad sent them back upstairs and told them to ask me again. After cleaning the baby up, I made the kids a snack and their dad came out to eat and told me not to let the kids interrupt him on his day off. By the way, he works part-time from home 6 days a week. I kind of snapped at him and told him it was my day off too and he's a useless effing father and a husband if his wife has to rely on his teenage sister rather than her own husband. He started telling me that I was
So luckily this is not my real mom. This is my stepmom. Her and my dad married a few years ago. So my family and my boyfriend's family are pretty close. My boyfriend's parents and my parents, aka my stepmom and my dad, get along with his parents. A little backstory on my stepmom. After my dad and my mom got divorced, he met her and they started dating pretty quickly. And they got married after only 5 months of having dated. So she becomes my stepmom, but she never really made any.
Hope you guys liked this video and found it helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. It does help support us, and let's know what videos you guys want to see.